All right, let's get into what we came here for. Right.
Yeah.
We're about to lean heavy on you, Troy. For
All
real.
right, let's
be
go.
quiet through. But my first question is, man, who's taking nutrition serious? We didn't introduce nutrition about X amount of years ago, right? And I just don't feel like the nutrition aspect has taken the forefront in this physical fitness program at all, man.
I'm so glad you said that, because I feel like that is the one thing that is always overlooked when it comes to these policies. Every time they make a change to the readiness program, the physical readiness program, it's always about the physical part or now, don't get me wrong. I like the changes that they made, right?
Yeah.
I think the changes are good, especially when it comes to the BCA and how we measure. But the nutrition is always the most important piece, or one of the most important piece when it comes to the readiness, but it's always overlooked. I don't know how much more training you're going to give. You can give all the training in the world, but if your sailors, and I always refer to the ships, because I feel like they're the ones that's, have it the hardest. If they don't have the nutritious food available, fresh fruits, vegetables are readily available. They might have fruit and stuff out on the line or out on the mess decks or whatever. But if they're not serving, quality food, if they're always in the ship store and the gedunks, the machines and stuff is filled with monsters and sodas and, high processed foods, they're gonna always go to what's available.
Right.
They're gonna always go and they're not taking the nutrition part serious. If the food is not good on the line, what do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna either go to raid the ship store, or they're gonna, if they import, they're gonna order out, order pizza, or go make a food run. So
yeah, hey, my take on the Dumbo, real quick on the nutrition. Back in my CFL days, even when we go to CFL school or whatever, man, even the nutrition portion of the school is small, something we kind of go through real quickly, right? So my kind of take is that it's a portion that talks about it, right? But it don't get the same level as talked about as we doing PT, right? We doing mandatory this and mandatory that, but we never really talk about it. It's stuff in place though.
Yeah.
Like you can go to medical, like on a base somewhere, and these programs are there.
Yeah.
But we don't talk about those programs enough. One, I think we don't talk about them enough because we are operational commands and we need sailors to run commands.
Yeah.
That's one. Mm-hmm. That's one reason I think about it, that we don't talk about it enough, especially on an operational standpoint. But I will say that Troy, you 100% correct. We don't talk about it enough. But also with that, the sailors, I want you guys to know that it is out there though. It's information that's out there about nutrition and stuff from our nutrition teams at these hospitals and at these medical facilities. We just don't talk about them and get sailors over there enough to get educated on a lot of things.
I agree. Yeah. You know what's funny? When I was over at when I was in Bahrain. In Bahrain, when they do chief season, they usually kind of come together, do it as a base. So I was out there with NAVCENT, and chief season happens in the summer. Of course, it gets hot very early, so they got to determine like where they're going to do PT at in the mornings or whatever. They normally try to do it like early in the mornings, or they'll find a facility that they can go to that's indoor where they'll be able to run PT. Well, I had never done a chief season in Bahrain before. I've done seasons before, but I've never done it in Bahrain. First time in Bahrain, and they want me to be the PT lead. Okay, no issues. I can do it. I've been to CFL. I understand the program very well. I also understand fitness in a totality. So understanding that there might be some instances where, hey, we may not actually get to the physical part of it, but that doesn't mean we should have a loss of training or a loss of education piece, right? I think there's a time where like, hey, yes, let's focus on the actual physical piece of it. But then, hey, let's sit these guys down since they're going to be chiefs and we want them to know how to run a physical fitness program. Let's not just show them how to construct a PT plan. Let's sit these guys down and show them what they should do if they have a sailor that is struggling with weight management or whatever, or you see them displaying unhealthy habits or nutritional, you can tell looking at them, they might be BCA challenged.
Yeah.
Where we can sit them down and show them how to put together a meal plan, show them, the guidance and show them the resources that is readily available for them to, there's meal plans and meal charts and food charts and things out there that's available that they have access to that we can show them how to do it. We can show them how to count calories, how to read food labels, so on and so forth. But these guys was ready to challenge me because I don't want to do PT every day. I want to take some time and show these guys the other elements and the other domains of the physical readiness program.
Yeah.
And that's where we fail at we only have this one focus. And it's not just in the chief mess. This is also in the leadership. When I was at ATG, I dealt with the war room where they felt like, well, these guys just need to get off their behinds and go work out. Like, yo, that may not be his problem.
Yeah.
Their problem all the time is not always physical ready, the physical side of it. They might need to sleep. They might don't have good sleep habits or sleep hygiene. So
my man said, like you said something that stuck with me. I never heard it before, man. You said BCA challenged, man.
Yeah.
That's probably the best way I've ever, heard that. Like, yo, bro, you BCA challenged.
BCA challenged, man. Yeah, I think that's a good line to write down right there, man.
And Troy woke it right up on the CFL topics. Troy, he woke it up, man. Hey, look.
Yeah,
when it's time, it's time, bro. So let's get into this. And I'm using a document that somebody sent me. And hey, I'm going to stop everywhere, Troy, and just let you kind of expound.
Okay.
But for the sellers that have been waiting for us to talk about the physical fitness assessment, the updates, it took a while, but here we are, right? So let's go with first two, right? So PFA updates. And this document, it ain't in totality, but it's nice. Hey, for the sellers, if you want a copy of it, hit us up. It's like, no, I'm just playing. I can't do that with y'all no more, man. It's too many of y'all, yo. So it says 2026 PFA updates versus obsolete calendar year 2025 policy. So the first one, cycle dates. So cycle 1 is 1 January through 30 June. Cycle 2 is 1 July through 31 December, whereas the last policy was 1 February through 30 November. Right. So we back at 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody
back where it was at. Yeah. Back where it was at before COVID.
Yep.
Yeah. So like you gotta, more than one time a year, you need to be getting yourself in position to take a PFA, which is a good thing, right?
Yep. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah. We should be able to do that shit quarterly, bro. like you know what I mean? Like I don't see why. It's a mile and a half, like a little plank and some little push-ups, man.
I'm gonna tell you an idea I had about the schedule in a little bit.
Okay. All right, let's go high performance BCA exemption. So they brought it up early. So the obsolete policy, BCA exemption for scores excellent, low, or higher, and members only needed to complete the nutrition part of FEP. The part that we talk about don't even really be a part, right? So now high performance BCA exemption now is a new score requirement. You got to get an outstanding, low, or higher with all 3 PRT categories scored no lower than excellent medium. Members will participate in FEP regardless of the PRT score and be disenrolled once within BCA standards. The BCA will be marked not within standards in Block 29 of your eval fit rep, but you overall pass the PFA in Block 20.
I'm curious who's going to be able to do that. I want to, like, if someone is actually able to do that, if they understand this in the BCA with the changes in the BCA, and they able to get a high performing PRT, please hit me up. I wanna celebrate you if you actually can handle that. Like if you actually do that.
Yeah. Why you say that?
I've never seen it. Ever. I've been a CFL for over 10 years. I've never seen that ever. Now, I've heard people say they've been able to get from the old way, they've been able to get an excellent overall with no category lower than a good low. I've seen that.
Yeah.
I've never, but these standards, never seen it ever.
Okay. Yeah, outstanding low or higher, boy.
Yeah, that's kicking. Hey, bro, that's kicking some ass, bro. It's like that's kicking some ass.
Like
if you can do
player,
it,
middle middle linebacker. Like,
listen, if you can do it, hit me up. I wanna celebrate you because you're a rarity in the Navy.
Yeah. So then to get disenrolled from FEP, you used to have a satisfactory medium or above, and you could do a mock PFA. Right, to be disenrolled from FEP before. Yep. Now you got to have a good low or above, and you can only be disenrolled on an official PFA.
Good.
Why do you say good?
Because it takes way too much time doing mock PRTs every month. It's a lot. And a lot of commands can't even do it. So it's best to just keep them in FEP until the next PRT, because it'll automatically unenroll them. It's administratively a burden.
Yeah, and you in FEP just a little longer, right? You working out more, you getting in it. It ain't bad for you, right? Like you know.
It ain't.
I tell you what, this is why I like it too, is because now you ain't running up to the CFL every freaking couple of weeks, man. Hey, when can I get in there? When can I get a mock? Now you know, hey, you're not getting off until the next PFA is done.
You just mocking yourself out. You just mock yourself. Mock yourself out, yo. Yeah. Like, hey, I'm going again. Hey, I'm going again. I'm going. Hey, you sure this time? Yeah, last week, man, I stepped it up a little bit. I'm going again Friday. Yo,
and we doing it twice a month. Twice a year anyway. Yeah. So within 6 months you can be off. So
you're gonna hit that run way faster, in 6 months than you did it. It says one-time PFA failure. Hey, I gotta give another shot. Josh gonna love this episode. It's about PT too. I don't know why I think about Josh, but it's a one-time PFA failure reset prior to 1 January. So that's the new thing. Obsolete, don't even matter for that one. What'd you think about the failure reset? You think it's a good thing? Just reset us, start us back?
Well, they're gonna always need a baseline. I thought it was funny the first time some years ago. I think it was well over 10 years ago when they did the reset. There's like one-time reset. And then they come back, another one-time reset.
Here we go, man.
Here we go. Yeah, this is the third time. This is the third time since my 20 years.
That's a fact. I remember that shit too, man. That's fact.
It's going to be another one-time reset too in about
I'm sure
3 years or so, or 4 years. It's going to be another one-time reset. That says mandatory separation for 3 PFA failures in 4 years. So the old policy was members were not separated, but had to pass mock PFA prior to reenlistment. New policy, it says sellers will take 8 PFAs in a 4-year period. That's what I was trying to say in that one episode, y'all, and I messed that up really bad. I forgot what I said. But Damon and Aaron, they ain't correct me. They just let me say the wrong shit. They just I'll be listening back to the episodes, yo. I be saying the wrong shit. Like last episode, I said, yo, it's 2024. And like none of like y'all just let him. I don't know y'all is not listening to me. I had to delete that out the episode, man. Like,
what? 2024
last episode, I said I joined in 07. It's 24 right now. And y'all just like, y'all just looking. Like, I'm like, yo, are they listening or what, bro? Like, man. But it says mandatory separation for 3 PFA failures in 4 years. Seller will take 8 PFAs in a 4-year period. Failures do not need to be consecutive. Right? So if you fail 3 out of the 8, you're done.
Yeah, I was happy this came back because this how it was before. And when they went away with it, I understood why they went away with it. I understand why they did the PFA reset, right? Because they was having that Manning issue or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is why I'm with you, Damon. They're gonna bring it back. That reset is gonna come back again or whatever. But I do agree with the separation, right? This was one of those things I mentioned. Like, yeah, they need to bring back kicking people out.
Yeah.
After so many PFA failures, I'm with it.
Yeah.
Hey, Troy, I got. Yeah, I'm not mad at it. I like it. I got a question. Did it used to be consecutive though? It always been consecutive back in the day, or it was just the consecutive piece? I don't remember if it used to be consecutive or not.
Man, it's been so long. I think when they did away with it, I think it was in like 2014, 2013, 2014 time frame.
Yeah.
And I thought it was like 3 failures. I don't remember if it was consecutive or not.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But I like this. It don't have to be I like it this way. Like,
yeah, me too. I like it too. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, you backsliding if you pass it and you fail it. I think we should assess sellers who ain't done a PRT in 4 years, due to different reasons, and just assess them. Like, yo, that's just me thinking. Like, yo, what's
come on out next week, man?
Let's figure out.
Yeah.
Well, there's only like 2 reasons why you wouldn't be able. Well, 3: waiver, pregnant, deployed.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else after that, you either gonna do it or you UA.
Yeah, some people then got away with the coming off the deployment straight into the, not got away. I don't want to sound insensitive, but some people then came off the deployment straight to something medical, got waived for that, something else. And then some of these sellers and I'm not knocking them, but some of them fell out of standards because of some of those reasons, right? And they never had that. Because I look at the PRT also like a sanity check or whatever, on your fitness. And that's what this, because now it's every 6 months you got to do the sanity check, right? So it's not you just every year is coming back around, and we need that. We need sellers. We need sellers that can be in standards. Now, do you remember this, Troy? Like it used to be a school you could go to. This was a long time ago. This like when I joined, and I keep saying this and nobody remembers, but it used to be, we had a seller and he was big. He was like, he failed or something. And I think he was facing getting kicked out. He was BCA challenged. Let me say that. Yeah. He was facing getting kicked out. And they sent them TAD for some time. And he lost, I don't know if it was like the Ozempic factory or something, but he came back slim. He lost a lot of weight. And it was somewhere he went TAD. You know anything about what I'm talking about?
Where were you when this happened?
I was on a ship in Norfolk. I was on a ship, Villa Golf. This was between 2007 and 2012. Probably like 2010. Dude was big. He got counseled for it and he left. He went TAD probably for like a month or something and came back in shape.
They must have sent them to a command or something, another command, because I don't recall anything like that been around. Now, been on the ship, depending on what facility you're on a small boy, so it ain't really
cruising.
Y'all ain't really got no real facilities that can support fitness like that. They probably had to send him off to a command where he could be taken care of. I can't think of any other place.
Because I used to like in a division, they used to joke, right? This is a over 10-year joke, but in a division, they used to say he went to fat camp, right? They used to be like, yo, he went to fat camp, boom, boom, boom. But I never heard nothing else about it. Don't remember nothing else about it. I was a junior seller. So, as a junior seller, you think you know something or saw something, but it's different than what you think you saw. But somebody would come hit me up, just like I said. I thought I saw a rat on the ship, and somebody let me know you probably did.
You probably did. Yeah, Norfolk. Yeah. During that time, oh yeah, Norfolk. They was out there. Yeah. I know when I first got to the ship. I kid you not, it was a rat coming. I kid you not, my very first morning. There was a rat right on the pier, and one of the FSA, they was carrying out the trash or whatever. Dropped some food right there on the pier. Saw the rat go up to the food, and then it ran to the side and jumped in the water. I was like, oh shoot, the food here must be that bad that the rat committed suicide. Like it was
no.
It was there. Those rats was there. You're not lying.
Okay. Hey, so PT integration to the workday. I love this personally. But again, I talked to some officers who know a lot more than me, and some of them got some issues with this idea. But it says commanders, COs, OICs will, bold and underline, integrate PT into every workday consistent with mission and operational requirements. When they put this out on I think it was the nav admin or something, they was like, hey, PT is a part of the workday. Just like, that shit was like, just like waking up, driving your car, getting to work, quarters, musters, training, instruction, inspection. I was like, they made sure they cover every dink study. They made sure they covered everything. It's a part of your workday, just like all those things, right? And I like it. What about y'all?
I wish they had this years ago. Oh, actually, so they did. This was a thing. This was always a thing. The problem is it wasn't enforced.
Yeah.
It was always a thing. I tried to, when I was at staff, I literally had to fight with leadership because I wanted to take a group to the gym, especially when I had guys that, was on FEP. And I'm more of a group guy myself. I like the small group where we go out and I run them through circuits and stuff like that. But I was literally fighting with other chiefs and stuff because they didn't want to let me go do PT.
Yeah.
But it's in the instruction. So I like the fact that it's being enforced. And, I hope that, commanders, COs, and, leadership, they take it more seriously.
Yeah. And I saw where they advised against the cadence runs. Like, yo, them cadence runs ain't, like, it ain't always it, man. Don't, like, I like that, man. Like, yo, just run, man. Just run. Yeah. You ain't got to hit them cadence runs. That's in there somewhere, y'all. But where I want to get to is, and I pulled up just for the listeners, I pulled up the 6110 real quick, right? 6110.1 Lima from 29 December 2025. And they give recommended physical activity guidelines for physical readiness, right? So it says cardio respiratory training, 2 hours and 30 minutes a week. So 50 minutes 3 times a week or 75 minutes 2 times a week. So that's an example of how you can add that into your schedule. Strength training, 2 to 3 days per week using a variety of exercises and equipment to work all major muscle groups. Neuromuscular training, 2 to 3 days a week, 20 to 30 minutes in duration with exercises involving motor skills, agility, balance, coordination, and gait. That's the word, gait? I never heard that shit. And natural or job-related movements. And then it says flexibility and mobility, 2 to 3 days a week. And then it says additional guidance for maintaining the necessary physical performance capabilities and combat arms personnel can be found in supplemental PRP Guide-4. So just for the listeners, all the PRP guides are updated and everything, right? Troy, do they have examples of like all of these different types of workouts already in one of these PRP guides or something?
They have some examples, but that's what CFL school is for. CFL school teaches the CFLs the different types of workouts that we can do. They run us through different circuits. They run us through the NOFS program. They show us everything. So that's what CFL school, that's what it's designed for. It's designed to show you, give you those examples on how to run Command PT. It's going to show you the proper way to do your warm-ups, your pillar prep movements.
Yeah.
Then they're going to show you how to design the workout program. And then it shows you the proper way to stretch and cool down. But the guys is not going to give you the full, like a regular sailor is not going to be able to just open the guide and be able to run through it. And a CFL who hasn't been through CFL school is not going to be able to open that guide and immediately know how to run PT, group PT. It just gives examples.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Back to the integration in the workday, man. Like DC Master Chief leggings, I like it. Right? In the workday. CMC leggings, I don't know, man. Right? And I'm going to tell you why I don't know. The reason why I don't know is because you put in there, you giving the commanders, you talk about operational requirements and commitments and things like that. To me, I think that puts a little bit on the commander, which I like to, but being at a squadron, your priorities, right, is getting those aircrafts up in maintenance. That's the priority, right? So if I wanted to, right, and a commander has the right to be like, hey, I got this going on. This is my priority right now, right? So now if they use that requirement, you really don't have to PT. I just got to make sure you got a good FEP program, right? Because that's kind of the one thing that's mandated, right? The FEP program is, and everything else says PT. It don't say command PT. It says PT for one. So that kind of throw a little bit of a gray area to me sometime on some of this stuff when you get to start talking about it. Because you easily, CFL can go up there with this great ideal and all these things he or she wants to do. But then, right, the priority is maintenance and flying aircrafts every day.
You think that's a gray area?
I think it's a gray area, meaning like, hey, how am I going to put this in my work schedule when I'm behind on maintenance and I can't get aircrafts up?
So I think you think your CEO?
Well, it ain't great. I tell you what, it ain't great. I take that back. It's not great. It's pretty much saying we're not going to PT because we got this going on.
You think your CEO could tell that to Secretary Hexef?
He don't have to. It says in their requirements. It says if commit. It says, let me see the word I'm looking for. It says in their mission and operational requirements.
Yeah. So you think your CEO could tell Secretary Hexef, hey, every single day we got mission and operational requirements that restrict us from PTing, and Secretary Hexef gonna be like, okay, cool.
No, it probably ain't gonna roll like that.
Yeah,
right. And I'm assuming it's not. But at the same time, we gave commanders that leeway though. That's what we just did.
It ain't leeway if they can't. It ain't leeway if they can't tell SecNav or SecDef that they never going PT. So this is basically.
No, hold on. I didn't use the words never and all this stuff. Never going to PT.
This shit. Yeah. The reason why I gave all them examples like wake up, drive to work, and all that, because this basically added that hey, PT is a part of, and we could pull up. It's a part of your workday now. Like it's saying that. Yeah. This thing is saying like, yo, we don't care about all of these things that you saying you do. You know. Yes, consistent with mission and operational requirements. It's like we don't care about all these things that you're saying you do. You guys need to PT. Like I mean, that's you tell me. Tell me something different, Troy. That's how I'm reading it. Now, do I think that the CEO could, like, I know I asked you to tell me something, and I kept talking. Do I think that the CEO could like have exceptions sometime? Yeah, but I don't think that it could be like, yo, we a busy command, bro. like I don't know though.
Well, I don't think it's going to be everybody drop what you're doing and everybody's going to go PT. I think it'll be more of a schedule type thing, right? And it's going to be unique, depending on the command and, of course, the mission. So, you might have a PT watch bill. You might find yourself PTing on your own, or you might, I know for us at InServe, we travel, but hey, we're gonna allot the time for, us to be able to go PT, get that, that hour and a half. But it's gonna be on our own. There ain't gonna be no group PT. So I don't think we're gonna see a situation where it's like the whole command is just gonna stop what they're doing, and then everybody's just gonna go PT. It might just be hey, at lunchtime you go, or at this time you go, and and
find a way. I think that's why they wrote it so open. Because they could have just been like, from these hours to these hours. I think they wrote it so open that people do, because the way we doing it is a little different. Like we got Alpha Company who PT every day anyway already as ceremonial guard. So ain't nothing gonna change for them. We got our Charlie Company that just started integrating PT when they got like a, so they're gonna PT, and then I think what we're gonna do is once a week or every so often, twice a week or something like that, we'll do a command version of PT. But most of our companies already have individual PT because of the kind of command I'm at. So it's not much, but it's just trying to figure out the flex and also making sure that people PT every day. So
and look, and for us though, we are making it happen. Also, I'm just using it because I know how our conversations was going, right? So we are most definitely going to PT. But I'm curious to know though, also, like, I'm talking about a squadron. It has to be at the command that's more demanding probably than a squadron, right? So how are they implementing everyday PT? So I'm interested in that too.
Bro, man, give me. See, I don't be thinking everything. When you was on the carrier, was it demanding?
No.
When we
command PT of the carriers.
When you was on the DDG, was it demanding?
No.
Yeah, I think I don't be thinking commands be as demanded as like we say it is when we in it. We just working so hard. We can't stop to do nothing. But most people, I don't think work more than 4 hours, bro.
Yeah. Hey, Dumbo, I will say this though about squadrons, and I'm sure I haven't been at a squadron for so long, right? But one thing I found out real quickly, if you guys notice, when you on a carrier, you on a ship, and they start to flying or whatever, right? And that's all they doing on board that ship is probably flying. If they're not flying, they probably sleep somewhere doing whatever, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't stop when they come home though.
Yeah.
Right? All the maintenance and all the flying and stuff they do, they fly right off the ship and they still flying damn near every day. Like that stuff does not stop.
Yeah.
Right? So what you see them doing on that carrier, flying and doing all that stuff, it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
For them.
Yeah. I be seeing them chilling too, like a lot though. I be seeing, hey, no offense, to my aviation people, I got smoke with y'all from how y'all did my spaces on the carrier from before. But I'll be seeing. I haven't been anywhere in the busiest commands I ever been to. I still see pockets where you could do something, but it's also, it's also something to be said about those pockets being like mental health spaces and things to do, other things that. But I think we kind of beat that.
Now, Damo, let me clean that up a little bit. I'm not saying we can't do it now. Don't get it twisted. We figuring some things out. I don't want to say it's not happening.
Yeah.
It's happening. We just got to figure some things out.
Yeah, we're going to make it happen. Is it happening already? All right, let's go to the next joint. That's a lot of y'all too. That's a lot of y'all commands. Like, no, we're gonna have a meeting about it. And,
we
kick it off in February.
We still talk about that, man. It's crazy.
That's how we do, man. I told my man, I was like, yeah, man, you got to brief it, man. Like, put it on a PowerPoint. My man was like, a PowerPoint? I'm like, yeah. Like for this one, you got to for this one. It says PFA, CFA failures will be reported with specifics beyond pass-fail. Example, Block 29, cycle pass P or fail, / within BCA standards are not within BCA standards, PRT overall score, overall points, PRT category. So then they got more examples, and you got to look at this. I'm not going through all this. It's not just a PRF. It's more details, how you did, that type of stuff. I'm going to take the back seat on running through this, Troy, and can you run through, unless you don't want me to, but can you run through this whole BCA thing for us, man?
Okay. So I'm gonna give my opinion real quick, and then I'll take y'all through it. Right. So when this instruction came out, when the whole change came out, one, I was glad that we was doing away with the scale, because the scale I felt like was very inaccurate when it came to the proper way. Like it was biased in a sense, right? And I'll tell you why in a little bit. I then started to cringe because I'm like, oh my goodness, we got to tape everybody now. But then when I thought about it, I'm like, well, we tape everybody now as it is. Like, so it ain't much really changing. All right. So I like the way they did it now, right? So right now they focus on they focus on the waistline in relation to your height. Yeah. Okay. So if you look at the new chart, how it used to be, you had the height and weight, and then depending on your weight would determine if you did the single site, which was 39 for males, 35.5 for females. And if you was over those measurements, then that's where we would get into the 2 site, 3 site, the rope and choke, what everybody referred it to as, right? Yeah. And then from that, we would determine your body fat percentage based on your height and the circumference measurements from the 2 site, 3 site, right? For the part 3. Well, they did away with that. So there's no more rope and choke in terms of the neck, the hips and glutes for the females. Now we're going to do your height and we're going to do your waist measurements. Yeah. So you're still going to do the measurement at the iliac crest, so which is the top of your hip bone. I already heard people doing the measurements incorrectly, doing it across the belly button, unless the top of your hip bone aligns with the middle of your belly button. You should be doing it at the top of the hip bone. And they should have in the guide the proper placement on the right side, right? Yeah. So you're going to take 2 measurements, and you're going to, same like we did the single site, it's going to be the average of those 2 measurements. And they have to be within an inch of each other. Yeah. Then the math for that is you're going to divide the waist by the height. And on that chart, they already have kind of like what it should be, like what that max is, what that number should come out to. But if you're doing the math, you should be under 0.59999 or whatever that is. I think that's the number, right? If you're over that number, then you have to get on the scale. That's when the weight factor is going to come in. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that is the only time you're going to get taped, is that one time, or those 2 times that you have to get the measurements after your height. Everybody's getting taped, right? And that is the only time you're going to get taped. If you're over that measurement, that 0.5999 or whatever, if you're over that, I think that's the number. I got to go back and look. Or is it 0.54?
Yeah, 0.5499.
I see that for CFLs, but yeah.
0.5499, something like that, right? If you're over that number, then that's when you get on the scale and they take your weight, right? So then that's when they're going to subtract your height from your waist, and then they'll look at the weight on that top line, and that's how they're going to determine your body fat percentage.
Yeah. And I did this already at home, and it was pretty much the same body fat percentage as it was before. Like it didn't change.
But they did do away with the age adjusted, which I was happy about, because that was stupid. So basically, like, if you was like within a certain age group, even though you may not have failed the BCA, but because you was at like this age, you was like under 35 or something like that, and you was like you were supposed to be in the 24% body fat percentage, we're putting you on FIP. You know what I mean? So you didn't fail, but you're still going on FIP.
Yeah, so you're young. You're young.
Yeah. So I was glad they did away with that. I was glad they did away with the part 3 with the whole rope and choke. It's just one taping now. Everybody's going to get taped, and this is where you have to be. And I feel like it's a little more generous now, based on, it's a little more generous, and I feel like it's generous in terms of the measurements. And I think the measurements I feel like the BCA is less biased, especially towards, especially for like women of color and those of, people of color. It's less biased.
Yeah. I thought it was. I thought the same thing. Honestly, I thought it was a little bit. Yeah, I thought the same thing.
I think for me, for the BCA stuff, man, I think everything is pretty straightforward too. It takes all the guessing out. It takes all the, like, you remember, like, I feel like it's so simple. I remember seeing back in the day, man, on how it used to be so like one-sided when it came to who you was taping. People like, when you want to get a female with a female, you want to get a male with a male, all that stuff. It is so neutral now that you don't have to worry about all that stuff. The numbers, the charts, and everything they got now is pretty straightforward. It ain't that much guessing at what is what now. But yeah, so I mean, I like it, man. The numbers, even the measurements, man. I don't understand yet. I haven't read deep enough to know what the 0.5499 stuff means. You know what I mean? Yet, like what does that mean and why? But it's a standard though, so it's for everybody the same. So I like that. Everybody on the same playing field. So I like that.
Yeah. PTU, same, right? Official Navy PTU.
Yeah.
So the postpartum participation. So it used to be sellers would roll to the next PFA cycle if postpartum ended during an official cycle. Now it's 12-month post-pregnancy sellers are required to participate in a current official PFA cycle if medically cleared. Right. And that just mean like that. I guess that means like you could have caught it at like the end and then like had like close to 2 years off instead of a year off or something like that. Is that kind of what they saying? Some sellers could have got away with like doing less PFAs depending on like when they hit that 12. Because it says sellers will roll to the next PFA cycle if postpartum ended during the official cycle. So that means you could literally do it. Like you could have a baby in January and not do your PFA until the next November.
The next one. Yeah. Because you had because once a year, if you missed that one, then you missed, most definitely be like a year and a half, 2 years.
We talked about, so CFL qual requirements is waist to height ratio is at or below 0.5499. Step 1, if step 2 required, if you got to do step 2, you can't be a CFL or ACFL. You can't even do it.
Yeah.
Non-user of tobacco, vapor, nicotine, pouch products. The old one was within maximum weight and height standards, are minimum 1% below AAS, and still you can't use tobacco or vapor. Medical waivers. The obsolete policy is medical waivers were valid for a year I know, were valid for one PFA cycle only, which was a year, pretty much.
Mhm.
Medical waivers granted for the entire PFA cycle are not to exceed the end of the official Navy PFA cycle. No specific definition of physician. So now, medical waivers should be issued only for conditions that will not be resolved prior to the end of that PFA cycle. And then it says AMDRs must provide sailors with a light duty chit for a condition expected to be resolved before the cycle ends. Physicians defined as medical professionals who are either DO, right, osteopathic, or doctor of medicine. So this only applies to signing of BCA waivers. Not all waivers are AMDRs.
This one is gonna get people, and the reason why it's gonna get people is because these last few years just doing one cycle, they were used to being out the entire year, right? Not having to do the PRT at all. But if you get two waivers, medical waivers back to back, you're automatically going to have to go through the MEP process.
Yeah, that's what I wasn't thinking about that. That didn't change, did it?
Nope. You're going to still have to go through the MEP process. And I mean, you know, it could result in a med board, or it could result in, you know, continuing whatever your treatment is. You're going to go limb do. So many different things can happen. So those that is, you know, quick to run the medical and try to get a medical waiver. Not saying that there is nothing wrong with you. I would just be mindful that now we're back to two. If you do a whole year, that's two medical waivers back to back, you're going through the MEP process.
Yeah. Hey y'all, that's pretty much it, right? Did we cover it all, Troy? Is that pretty much it, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. Again, a lot of it didn't change. The change is not as drastic as people were kind of making it out to be. It's just, you know, there's going to be a little more you know, eyes on the physical readiness. I would say, you know, those current CFLs definitely read up, get into the instructions and get creative. Because they did not bring back the, you know, with bringing back the two PRTs a year, they did not bring back, if you get a excellent, then you can skip a PRT. Yeah, they didn't bring that back. So the command CFLs leadership is going to have to get creative with the incentives on how to you know, make, you know, physical readiness you know, a thing. Like, you're really going to have to, you know, motivate and improve your culture, because that is really what our issue is. We have a culture issue. A lot of people don't prioritize physical fitness because it's all about getting the job done. You know, we got a mission that we need to complete. We got training that needs to be done. We got to prep for deployment. We got maintenance. We got all these things that becomes a priority, that physical fitness takes a back seat. And then, you know, who wants to go and go work out or do all this other stuff after being, you know, working these long hours, or, you know, being stressed out? I want to go home and you know, do what I want to do for myself to take my mind off of the stress that I had at work. So we're definitely going to have to improve the culture of, you know, fitness. Definitely leadership needs to be, you know, understanding nutrition. They need to understand sleep hygiene, and they need to understand how to, you know, take a look at your sailors and start figuring out how you can help them and how you can help improve the culture and what you can actually control. You don't need to wait for the CEO or this whole, command instruction on what y'all are going to do or mandate. We as chiefs and we as leaders we have some control and we have some say. Take care of your sailors and improve the culture of fitness within your own divisions and departments. Get creative.
And that was a good way to close that topic out, man. We ain't never closed a topic like that. That was good.
Good
That was
shit,
good. Hey,
man.
before we